Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted as always to be joined by my good friend Billy Nelson, who's sitting in an airport right now. Where are you jetting off to now, Mr. Globetrotter?
Globetrotter. I'm just going away for a wee break to Turkey for a week.
Quite right, mate.
Just recharge your batteries. I've been on the go since the beginning of November, both with Thor, then Martin, and so a bit of quality time myself for a week.
Quite right, mate. Quite right. Listen, the reason I wanted to speak to you because Martyn BAKOLE had a fight at the weekend there against Olympic champion gold medalist Tony Yoka. Now, before we talk about the judging and all that sort of stuff, just talking about Martyn's performance and the performance and obviously the game plan going in.
Well, the game plan was to get in there and control the centre of the ring, which he done fantastically well for round 1 to round 10. But what pleased me most, and I've been telling people this for a long, long time, is that he's produced he's produced about 80% of what he's capable of. You know, what I've seen in the gyms with the top boys in Britain. And he looked really good on Saturday night. But there is more to come, believe me when I tell you that.
Well, obviously, he got the 2 knockdowns, around 1 and 5, I believe. Was there a point in that fight where you thought you could have got maybe Tony out of there? Because he looked like he was out on his feet a little bit.
Well, he could have stepped on the gas and tried to get him out of there. But, you know, in my opinion, and we spoke about this, he was probably carrying a bit too much timber. So it can eased off a wee bit in 7 and 8. That was the only 2 rounds I could possibly have given Tony Yoka. Possibly. In Britain, he wouldn't have got them, but in France, he would have got them. But listen, you've got to be happy with the result. You went over there and dominated that fight. Anywhere in the world, you've won that fight. Possibly be a shutout with two knockdowns. I drawn 2 points with 2 judges. Andy, that is abysmal, isn't it?
That's what I wanted to talk about. One judge had it a draw in 94 with 2 knockdowns. I find it hard to believe how that could be because Martyn was winning the majority of the rounds as well. And like you said, round 7 and 8. But when you heard that that scorecard, because we've seen it like home advantage and home fighters in their home country. Boxing is boxing. You've been in the sport long enough that you've seen these hometown decisions go against the home fighters. So when that 94 got read, what was going through your mind?
Well, basically, my French isn't great, but even when I heard 94, I went, oh my goodness. But even the crowd were booing, Andy. They were booing. They were singing Martyn's name near the end of the fight, at the end of the fight, so they were. I mean, they turned completely. They know who dominated that fight. You know, the French fans themselves knew who won the fight.
Mm-hmm.
And fair play to them for doing so.
But what was going through your mind?
But judging wise, surely somebody's got to investigate that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, some of the commentators who commentate in fights aren't the sharpest tools in the box when it comes to boxing, right? Mm-hmm. But even the guy on the telly said, this is a shutout. How can you go for a shutout with 2 knockdowns to a draw? Sam Jones, my very good friend from down south, he said it's probably that particular judge's his scoring was the worst he's ever seen.
Mm.
They're coming for a man with a vast experience that Sam's got. You've got to listen to him.
Hey, Sam's. I know that was a little dig at there, Billy. I know that was a
I'm only kidding, Sammy boy.
Yeah, obviously.
To be fair, Andy, Sam was one of the first on the phone to congratulate myself and Martyn, and for that I thanked him.
Good stuff. There's definitely you are friends, man, but you pretend that you don't. For Martyn, what's next for Martyn then? That was a great win against an undefeated Olympic gold medalist, undefeated pro. I think he had 10 fights, 8 knockouts, so high knockout percentage. So that was a great win for Martyn. So looking at this heavyweight division in the landscape right now, what's next for Martyn? Who do you want next?
Well, I would like, why not Dylan White? Why not Dylan White? Anybody in Britain, anybody. I've said it for a long while. I said to Martin yesterday, I said, what about somebody like Dylan White? No problem, I'll stop him. And he would stop him. He punches faster, he's got a better array of punches. He punches harder. Just a better fighter than Dylan White. That's the bottom line. But people can say one thing or another. Granted, Dylan has fought at a higher level, but Martin is a higher level.
So is that obviously Dylan's obviously coming off that loss to Tyson Fury? So
Dylan's a good fighter. Elenius would be a good fight. He's with PBC. They're probably keeping him for Wilder. You know, maybe match him with Wilder. Why not Wilder?
Why not?
More than capable. Why not? You can't go back the way now. You've got to go forwards.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like with Martin, he's sort of coming under the radar a little bit. Obviously, he had that loss against Michael Hunter, but he seemed to have regrouped, got himself together again. He's coming back and he's putting on performance after performance after performance after that loss. So, like you say, the only way is up. So you're looking at not the top 10, but the top 5 in the world now.
Well, Martin will be in the top 5 shortly in the next lot of rankings, I'd imagine. At least 6 and upwards. But listen, Andy, there's people out there within the boxing community in Britain that would love to see Martin get beat because he's a danger. They know what he's like in the gym. He's never produced a performance that he's shown in the gyms under the lights, and he done it on Saturday night, and he'll improve on that and improve as a fighter and as a boxer going forward. So the world's heavyweight division's on. You know, I've told you what's going to be coming, and he'll be coming for everybody now.
We'll talk about the heavyweight division. I know you're in the airport right now, so you're on holiday mode, I believe. So what's next for Big Thor then? I'm still kind of like excited to see what's next for Thor, because that was a good performance against Eddie Hall in Dubai. I actually enjoyed watching the fight, enjoyed the fight itself. So what's next for the big man? When are you going to see him back in Airdrie?
Well, there's talk that is it Martyn Ford?
Martyn Ford, yeah.
Big guy. And I think there's talks that could be him maybe later on in the summer, end of July, maybe August. Don't know where, don't know exactly when, but he seems to be very vocal on what he's going to do. Let's see if we can do it. Two big men. I know Martyn Ford. He's like Thor. He's given the sport 100%. He's not taking any shortcuts. Thor's a businessman. He's got lots of ventures. In fact, he'll have a lot more than Eddie. I can assure you that.
Oh, yeah,
but he dedicated himself 100. He was with me for 4 months. 4 months, paying a fortune out in Airbnbs to stay in Scotland, paying for an Airbnb for me for 2 months over in Iceland. A right expense, you know what I mean? To become the best that he could. And let me tell you, I'll tell you this, Andy, right? See, that night, I was happy with his performance, reasonably happy with his performance, but he showed much, much more than that in the gym. So if Nathan Ford thinks that...
Martyn Ford.
If Martyn Ford thinks that's the best Thor Bjornsson, he's in for a rude awakening. And the bigger the better, because the taller he is, the big Ford will get put to sleep.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Big Martin, he's putting in the work though. But
he's never fought. He's never experienced fight night, putting the wee gloves on, getting ready for a fight. You know, he's no experience that. Your ass goes like, he's asking to making chocolate buttons. No experience that. Thor has.
Yeah. And
that's a big advantage. Plus, for what I've seen in him anyway, technically, Thor's much better than him.
Well, it's a fight that I'm excited about. I mean, I'm going to be honest. Sometimes I don't the YouTubers and stuff like that, but for these big men, two giant men like Ford and Thor, man, I'm actually buzzing for it.
Fair play to them. They're big lumps who punch hard. One punch for either of them could be the end of the fight. But if it goes down to technique, Thor will beat him comfortably. No.
No, it's an exciting fight. I'm looking forward to it. Listen, Billy, I know you're at the airport getting ready for a wee quality time with you and the missus and whatnot. So go and enjoy Turkey, mate, and I'll catch you when you're back, my man. Thanks for everything.
Okay, pal.
Cheers, Billy. Thank you, man. Enjoy.
Welcome, Team Everlast, to the Team Everlast Fitness app. Download the Everlast Fitness app and find your greatness within.